Chosen one. Have you ever walked into a room and felt every eye notice you, but not in the way you might think? They stare at you, sometimes with curiosity, sometimes with unease, and then they look away. Like your presence startled something inside them, like your very being revealed a truth they weren't ready to face. If this has happened to you, you're not imagining it. And no, it's not about how you dress, how you talk, or even how you look. It's something much deeper. It's your spiritual aura. It's your divine presence. It's the mark of someone whose very soul carries a frequency this world cannot fully grasp. You are a chosen one. And this message has reached you at the exact moment it was meant to. Divine timing. Nothing random about it. Let me tell you something with the weight of wisdom and years behind it. You're not crazy. You're not overthinking. You're not too sensitive. What you're experiencing is real. You carry energy sensitivity because your soul has been refined through spiritual fire. You've walked through realms and trials that others don't even see. And now your energy announces itself before you say a single word. That's why people stare. That's why they pause. That's why their eyes meet yours, then quickly turn away like they saw something they weren't supposed to see. You, chosen one, are cloaked in light, not visible to the physical eye, but deeply felt by every soul that crosses your path. Whether they understand it or not, people feel your vibration. They feel your presence before you even enter the room. And that presence? It disrupts what's false. It exposes what's hidden. It carries truth. That's why this message is so important. That's why it found you today. You needed confirmation. You needed language for what you've been sensing for years. This is your moment of knowing. I need you to pause and think about this for a moment. How many times has someone looked at you strangely? How often have you felt the eyes of people linger on you? Or noticed someone staring, then suddenly acting nervous or awkward? These are not coincidences. These are responses to your spiritual frequency. Your divine presence shifts the atmosphere. Whether in silence or conversation, you carry something that unsettles illusions and awakens something ancient in others. That something is the signature of your calling. If this resonates, if your soul is nodding right now, I want you to comment the number 777 below. That number is sacred to your journey. It's the sign of spiritual completion, divine alignment, and heavenly activation. Drop a 777 in the comments to confirm this message reached you at just the right time. And don't keep this confirmation to yourself. Subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell so you never miss another revelation like this. And share this video with another chosen one who's been questioning why people react to them the way they do. Because this isn't just happening to you, it's happening to those who carry the same light. What's important now is this. You start seeing yourself for who you really are. The world has made you second-guess it. Your upbringing may have told you to shrink it. Relationships may have made you feel like you're too much or too intense, but here's the truth, plain and clear. You are a divine disruption. You weren't made to blend in. You were sent to stand out, not in ego, but in essence. You're not here to make people comfortable. You're here to awaken them. And often, the first reaction to awakening is discomfort. So don't mistake people's stares or their reactions as rejection. It's revelation. You're revealing what their spirit already knows. And that's why this message found you. Not a second too early. Not a moment too late. Because you've reached a point where your soul is ready to accept the fullness of who you are. You are not ordinary. You never have been. You are a chosen one. And your divine presence will only grow stronger from here. In the coming minutes, I'm going to explain exactly why this happens to you. Why your spiritual aura speaks louder than your words. Why people are drawn to you, stare at you, and sometimes fear you, all without even knowing why. By the end of this message, you will no longer question your experience. You will walk in awareness. You will walk in power. You will walk in purpose, because this is your time. The old you, the doubting you, the small you, is gone. This is your spiritual awakening, and it all starts now. The truth about your energy field, your aura, is not normal. Chosen one, it's time you understand something that has always been true about you, even before you had words for it. Your energy field is not normal. Your aura is not ordinary. It's not something that can be measured or explained by worldly systems. It is divinely encoded, spiritually charged, vibrationally different. You don't just walk through a room, you change the frequency of the space. And that change, that shift, people feel it, even if they don't consciously know why. That's why they pause. That's why their eyes linger. That's why they stare and look away. Your aura speaks, and what it says cannot be ignored. Every human being has an aura, a field of energy that surrounds the body. But a chosen one's aura is layered with dimensions that are not of this world. You carry the imprint of divine assignments, the residue of spiritual encounters, the echoes of ancestral wisdom, and when that kind of energy walks into a room, even the most asleep spirit stirs. Your presence presses against the illusions people live in. It pushes against the lies they've agreed with. It awakens something deeper, and that awakening is uncomfortable, especially for those who've been living in denial of their own truth. Your aura wasn't formed overnight. It was forged through fire, through pain, through isolation, through spiritual training most will never understand. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every wilderness season added another layer of light to your field. And now that you've come through those fires, you don't walk with heaviness, you walk with holiness. You carry wisdom that your words haven't even caught up with yet. And your energy field broadcasts that truth before you say a thing. That's why people stare. That's why they shift when you enter. They don't see it with their eyes, but their spirit knows exactly what just walked in. Let's break it down. Your aura has texture, color, frequency. But beyond the physical layers, there are spiritual codes written into it. These codes are what mark you as a chosen one. You carry divine presence, the kind that makes people second-guess their intentions, the kind that reveals what's fake, the kind that draws in the hungry and repels the manipulative. You've probably noticed that some people are magnetically drawn to you. They want to sit near you. They confide in you without knowing why. That's not just empathy. That's your spiritual field pulling on the truth inside them. At the same time, others avoid you, grow defensive around you, or act cold without reason. They're not reacting to your personality, they're reacting to your light. And your light is not here to entertain, it's here to expose. That's the difference. You don't carry energy to impress people, you carry energy to awaken them. And awakening, chosen one, is often painful. Most people don't want to wake up. They'd rather stay asleep in their illusions. And so, when your energy enters the room, they feel exposed. Like a light was turned on in a room they wanted to keep dark. Their response? Stare, glance, look away, act odd, make excuses, feel triggered. You've seen it. You've felt it. You've probably internalized it, thinking something was wrong with you. But the truth is, something is deeply right with you. You have what spiritual masters call energy sensitivity, but in your case it works both ways. You're sensitive to the energy of others, yes, but more importantly, others are sensitive to yours, even when they don't understand it. even when they don't believe in spiritual things. Their body reacts. Their emotions shift. Something inside them becomes unsettled. That's because your aura doesn't just sit around you passively. It interacts. It challenges. It lifts. It confronts. It invites people to rise or forces them to flee. And this is not about arrogance. This is about awareness. The more aware you become of your spiritual aura, the more intentional you can be with how you carry it. You don't need to shrink yourself to make others feel safe. You don't need to dim your light to stay acceptable. You weren't chosen to be silent. You weren't set apart to blend in. You were marked to shine, to stand out, and to shift every space you enter, not by force, but by frequency. That's what's happening when people stare at you. They're reading your frequency. Even if they don't know how, they're decoding your aura. Even if they don't believe in such things, they're sensing that you're different, that something about you carries weight, carries mystery, carries power, and that mystery both intrigues and intimidates. You are a walking revelation. And revelations are never neutral. They either comfort or confront. Have you ever been told you have a presence about you, that when you walk in, people notice even when you don't say a word? That's because your energy goes ahead of you. Your divine presence isn't just something you have, it's who you are. Your very existence declares spiritual truth. Your very presence speaks prophecy. And the world, though noisy and distracted, always recognizes what is real, even if it can't articulate it. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop doubting your gift. Stop questioning your impact. Stop minimizing your effect. You're not just someone with good vibes. You're a spiritual atmosphere shifter. You're a divine carrier. Your aura is evidence of the divine spark within you. And the more you embrace it, the more aligned you become with your mission. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to activate those who are ready. You're here to stir sleeping souls, to remind the forgotten, to break illusions. That's why they stare. That's why they look away. That's why you feel both adored and avoided. And now that you know the truth, you no longer have to wonder. You can walk boldly. You can carry your energy with confidence, because your aura is not normal. It is holy. It is ancient. It is chosen. And so are you. What people see, and why it's not always consciously understood. Chosen. 1. When people look at you, they don't just see a face, they see a reflection. They see something that doesn't fit into the mold of what they're used to. But here's the mystery. Most of them don't even realize what they're reacting to. It's not your hairstyle. It's not your clothes. It's not your expressions. It's your spiritual aura. It's the divine presence you carry without effort. They're not responding to your outer form. They're responding to your essence, and essence is spiritual. This is why people stare at you with a look that seems confused or even conflicted. It's because they feel something that their mind hasn't caught up to yet. Their soul recognizes you before their logic can name you. You see, the soul always knows. Long before the brain can process, the soul reacts. That's why people often treat you differently on a first meeting. That's why they may act distant or oddly curious. Because your very presence stirs something spiritual in them, even if they're not consciously aware of it. They see purity, they see strength, they see wisdom that hasn't been spoken yet, and it unsettles something in them. Some will feel peace around you, others will feel exposed. The way they respond has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with what your presence brings up in them. Your aura reflects their truth. And most people are not ready to face their truth. When they stare at you, they're not just seeing you. They're seeing parts of themselves, parts they've buried, parts they've denied, parts they're afraid to face. That's the power of divine energy. It speaks without a sound. It reaches into the spirit before the conversation begins. And the chosen ones, whether they try to or not, live in that spiritual language. You don't need to try to be spiritual. You already are. You don't have to force divine energy. It's already radiating off of you. This is why people look. And this is also why they sometimes pull back. Because what they feel in your presence breaks through their comfort zone. People don't always understand why they feel uneasy around you, or why they suddenly become guarded. They might think it's something about your tone, your posture, or your presence. But deep down, it's not even personal. It's energetic. You walk into their frequency with higher vibrations. You carry clarity into their confusion. You carry truth into their delusion. And even without saying a word, your spirit introduces itself. Have you ever noticed how some people become awkward, overly polite, or completely silent when you enter the room? That's not coincidence. That's not social dynamics. That's spiritual alignment confronting spiritual misalignment. Your divine presence causes people to reevaluate themselves in real time. Even those who don't believe in anything spiritual can feel it. And when people feel something they don't understand, their response is often unpredictable. This is why it's so important, chosen one, that you stop internalizing people's confusion. Stop thinking it's something wrong with you. What they see in you, what they feel in you, is beyond words. You weren't created to be understood by the masses. You were created to be felt by those who are spiritually awake. And even among the unawakened, your presence is part of their stirring. Some people will walk away from you and not even know why they feel lighter or more unsettled. They won't be able to explain what happened. They just know something shifted. That's the effect of divine presence. You are not just another person in the room. You are a spiritual broadcast, a soul vibration. And whether they admit it or not, they see something in you that shakes them. So, don't chase understanding from people who can't even understand themselves. Don't lower your frequency trying to explain your existence to those who are still asleep to their own. Let your aura speak. Let your energy reveal. Let your presence be the message. Because what people see in you is not about your image. It's about your inner light. And though they may not consciously understand it now, one day their spirit will remember who you were and how your presence changed something in them. You trigger something in others. The mirror effect of your light. Chosen one, you must understand this truth clearly now. Your presence triggers something in others, not because you intend to, not because you speak harshly or walk with arrogance, but because the light within you acts like a mirror. And when people come close to you, they don't just see you, they see themselves, the parts they've tried to hide, the truth they've tried to bury, the identity they've forgotten. And for many, that sudden exposure is too much, so they stare at you and then look away. This is what I call the mirror effect of your light. You are a walking reflection of divine truth. You shine with a frequency that is not of this world. It is ancient, eternal, and undeniable. And when people come into contact with that light, they are forced to confront what is false in them. That confrontation doesn't always feel good. It's not supposed to. You weren't sent to comfort egos. You were sent to awaken souls. Your spiritual aura, your divine presence, is so pure, so intense, that it reflects everything in its path. People who are aligned with truth will feel peace in your presence. They will feel clarity, calmness, even joy. But those who are out of alignment, those who are hiding behind masks, lies, ego, pride, or trauma, your presence feels like spiritual friction to them. They look at you and feel irritated, exposed, or even threatened. And again, they won't always understand why. They won't be able to put it into words, but their soul knows. Their spirit recognizes something holy, and when that happens, they are faced with a choice. Either rise to meet the light or retreat to the shadow. This is why you've noticed strange patterns in your life. People who loved you one moment and grew cold the next. Friends who disappeared without explanation. Strangers who stared at you like they knew you. And others who couldn't look at you at all. You weren't imagining these things. It wasn't your fault. It was your light. And light, dear chosen one, does not apologize for being what it is. Even in Scripture, light and truth always exposed what was hidden in darkness. Your presence does the same. You reveal things just by being. You bring up wounds others haven't healed. You stir memories they've tried to forget. You challenge beliefs they never questioned until they met you. You didn't ask for this ability. It's not something you trained for. It was given to you before you were born. You were marked by heaven to carry this frequency, to walk with a light that would shift the atmosphere, to break illusions, to bring clarity. And yes, that means triggering what others don't want to face. Here's the thing. Most people live behind emotional walls. They wear masks. They build defenses to protect their insecurities. And when you walk in, your energy bypasses all of that. It speaks directly to the soul. That's why your silence speaks louder than others shouting. That's why your eyes seem to see into people. Because they do. Your light doesn't just shine, it reveals. And here's where your calling becomes even more sacred. You are not just triggering people for the sake of discomfort. Your presence is an invitation. You are calling them higher. You are reminding them of who they really are beneath the conditioning, the trauma, the fear. Even when they reject you, even when they deny you, your energy plants a seed. And in time, that seed will grow. But you must also understand the cost of being this mirror. Not everyone wants to change. Not everyone wants to grow. Some people would rather destroy the mirror than face what it reflects. That's why they lash out. That's why they gossip. That's why they distance themselves. It has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their readiness. Don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about the truth you carry. You may often find yourself alone, misunderstood, even envied. But remember this, isolation is not punishment. It's preparation. You are being protected from those who cannot yet handle your frequency. You are being hidden from those who would misuse your light. And at the same time, you are being refined, strengthened, trained in spiritual authority. Because when you fully understand your power, you will no longer be shaken by the reactions of others. So what do you do now? You walk boldly. You shine without apology. You speak truth with compassion, but without compromise. You continue to be the mirror, even when it's uncomfortable. Because the world doesn't need more masks. The world needs more mirrors. Souls like yours that reflect divine reality. That expose what's false. That awaken what's buried. That remind people of their sacred identity. Chosen one, you didn't come here to be liked. You came to be light. You came to reveal, to shift, to transform. You came to be the reason someone finally sees themselves clearly and chooses to rise. That's the power you carry. That's why they stare at you. That's why they look away. And that's why you must never dim the mirror. That is your soul. Keep shining. Keep triggering. Keep reflecting. Heaven on earth. Your eyes hold ancient frequencies, the portal of the soul, chosen one. There's something about your eyes that people never forget. They may not remember your name. They might not recall your voice, but they will remember your gaze. Because your eyes don't just look, they see. They carry ancient frequencies. They are portals, not windows. Portals to a place beyond this dimension. Portals to truth, to eternity, to the soul. When people stare into your eyes, even for a moment, they feel something sacred, something raw, something real. Some feel peace, others feel exposed. Some are drawn closer, others look away in fear. Why? Because your eyes don't just reflect light, they emit it. Spiritual light, divine frequency. Your soul has traveled far, and the wisdom you've carried from realm to realm has settled in your gaze. Your eyes speak a language beyond words. You've probably heard it before. There's something in your eyes. Or maybe they said, you look like you've seen too much, or you have an old soul. What they're sensing, without knowing how to name it, is the depth of your spiritual memory. You are not just living this life. You are carrying the echo of many lifetimes, many callings, many assignments. And the gateway to all of it sits right behind your eyes. This is why people sometimes can't hold eye contact with you. Not because you're intimidating in the worldly sense, but because your eyes make them feel seen, truly seen. And that's not something most people are ready for. Your eyes reflect their unspoken thoughts, their hidden pain, their buried truth. You see what they don't say. You catch what they try to hide. And in your silence, you speak volumes. That is the power of your divine presence. When a chosen one looks at someone, it's not casual, it's not surface level, it's a spiritual interaction, a soul-to-soul moment. And even if the other person doesn't fully understand it, they feel it. They know it was different. That's why some are drawn to you instantly, and others retreat. Some will try to get close to that light again and again. Others will avoid you entirely, not because they hate you, but because they're not ready to be seen like that. The frequency your eyes hold is not ordinary. It vibrates with heaven's memory. It whispers of truths that have not yet been spoken. You may not even realize how deep your gaze is, but others do. They feel it. They remember it. And that's why they react. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. Their soul sees your soul. And something sacred is exchanged in that silent moment. Chosen one, don't be ashamed of your eyes. Don't lower them because people feel uncomfortable. Don't hide them because others misunderstand. Your gaze is part of your gift. It carries healing. It carries wisdom. It carries warning. Your eyes are spiritual tools. They scan the room. They discern energy. They tell truth. You were given this sight for a reason. Use it with boldness. Use it with love. Use it with purpose. And if you've ever been told that your eyes are too much, comment 444 right now. That number carries the vibration of protection, angelic guidance, and inner stability. Because your sight is protected, your gift is guided, and you are stable even when others are shaken. The next time someone stares into your eyes and looks away, don't question yourself. Don't shrink. Smile with your spirit. Because whether they knew it or not, they just looked into the eyes of eternity. And eternity looked right back. The silent recognition. They know you're different, even if they can't explain it. Chosen one, you've walked through this world being watched more than you realize, not because of what you said, not because of what you did, but simply because of who you are and what you carry. There's something about you that people recognize, even when they can't explain it. They don't have the words, but their spirit knows. Their energy picks it up instantly. You don't need to speak to be felt. You don't need to introduce yourself to be known. Your presence introduces itself. And what it says leaves people wondering, curious, unsettled, and sometimes even changed. This is what we call silent recognition. It's that moment when someone locks eyes with you across the room and looks at you like they've seen you before, even if they haven't. or when a stranger becomes awkward in your presence, unsure of what just shifted inside them. They may not be conscious of it, but deep down, their spirit senses that you're different, not better, but chosen. And the energy you radiate doesn't feel like anything they've experienced before. You've had these moments. You've walked into places where people just stared, or changed the way they spoke around you, or looked at you like they were trying to figure you out. Some were drawn to you without knowing why. Others avoided you as if your presence was too intense for them to handle. That's because you don't just carry energy, you carry divine presence. Your spirit was marked, your aura was sealed, and it speaks before your lips ever open. People who cross paths with you are often confused by how they feel. Some think it's admiration, others feel discomfort. Some want to follow your energy, others want to run from it. But no matter how they react, one thing is always true. They know you're not like everyone else. You were set apart, spiritually encoded, designed for something different. And whether they acknowledge it or not, they feel that truth every time they encounter you. This is why you often leave a deep impression on people, even in the smallest interactions. A 5-minute conversation with you feels like a portal opening. A single glance feels like a spiritual scan. They feel known, even if you didn't say much. They feel seen, even if you didn't try. That's because your soul is doing what it was born to do: radiate truth. And truth always leaves a mark. The silent recognition is not about popularity or social validation. It's not something you can force or fake. It's spiritual. It's ancient. It's real. Their spirit recognizes yours, even if their mind can't make sense of it. And that recognition either draws them in or pushes them away. That's not your fault. That's your frequency. Many will never tell you what they feel around you. They won't say, "You remind me of something divine." They won't admit, "I feel different when I'm near you." But they'll show it in how they act, how they glance, how they speak, how they remember you after only meeting once. You've lived this, and for too long, you may have thought you were imagining it. But now you know. It's real. And it's happening because your spirit was never meant to go unnoticed. Chosen one, don't waste energy trying to make people understand who you are. Don't explain your light to those still living in darkness. The ones who are meant to recognize you will. Not through words, not through titles, but through that deep inner knowing. That moment when their soul whispers, "This one is different." Let them feel it. Let them wonder. Let them stare. And let them walk away if they must. Because you weren't born to be understood by all. You were born to be remembered by the right ones. Those who are aligned with your mission. Those who feel the call in their own spirit. Those who know that what you carry is not of this world. You are not just seen. You are recognized. Spirit to spirit. Realm to realm. Frequency to frequency. And that recognition is a sign that your presence is doing exactly what it was meant to do. Keep walking in it. Keep owning it. Because they know, even when they don't know how they know, you're different. And their spirit has already confirmed it. The rejection reflex. Why they look away, avoid you, or feel threatened. Chosen one, let's speak plainly now. You've been avoided. You've seen people shift their posture when you walk into a room. You've watched them look at you, then suddenly look away like they saw something too bright, too raw, too true. This is not social awkwardness. This is spiritual discomfort. What you're witnessing is the rejection reflex. It's what happens when your divine presence becomes too much for unhealed, unready souls to handle. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting what your energy reminds them of. You remind them of everything they've avoided, the truth they buried, the lies they believed, the higher version of themselves they haven't become. Your spiritual aura carries a frequency that presses against falsehood. And when someone is deeply attached to their illusions, your energy feels like confrontation, even if you haven't said a single word. That's the part many people don't understand about being a chosen one. Your very being is confrontational, not because you're aggressive, but because you're aligned. Your light naturally reveals shadows, and not everyone is ready to deal with their shadows. Some will feel small next to you, not because you made them feel that way, but because your presence showed them the gap between who they are and who they were created to be. And that gap feels like a threat. So they avoid you. They turn their eyes. They keep the conversation shallow. They may even become passive-aggressive. It's all part of the rejection reflex. It's not personal. It's spiritual. Their soul feels exposed. And rather than step into healing, many people retreat back into comfort. They choose the known pain over the unknown growth. And when you show up with that energy of transformation, their instinct is to protect themselves. That protection often looks like withdrawal, silence, or fake smiles. You felt it. That moment when someone suddenly grows cold without reason. That shift in energy that says, I don't know what it is about you, but I can't be around you for too long. What they're really saying is, your presence is disrupting what I've spent years pretending isn't there. And instead of going inward, they walk away. Because staying would mean changing, and change, real, spiritual change, is one of the most threatening things to an unawakened soul. There is nothing wrong with you, chosen one. You're not too intense. You're not too serious. You're not too deep. You're exactly what you were born to be, a divine alarm clock. And alarm clocks don't sound pleasant to the one who's sleeping. They're loud. They're jarring. They're inconvenient. But they're necessary. Your presence disrupts the slumber. And while some will hit snooze and avoid you, others will wake up and thank you. Maybe not now, but one day. Remember, even the prophets were rejected. Even the purest light was pushed away. Because it's not the messenger that's hated, it's the message. And your energy is a message. You walk in with an unseen sermon that calls people to rise. And not everyone wants to leave the low places they've made home. So they resist, they deflect, they project, they reject. But don't let that harden you. Don't let it make you question your gift. Your job is not to make people accept you. Your job is to be exactly what you were sent to be. A vessel of divine presence, a mirror, a light, a spiritual catalyst. And yes, that comes with the cost of rejection. But it also comes with the reward of truth. So let them look away. Let them avoid you. Let them feel what they feel. You just keep shining. Because your light was never meant to make people comfortable. It was meant to set them free. The ones who stare with longing when their soul recognizes yours. Chosen one, not every stare is fearful. Not every gaze is rejection. Some people look at you with something else entirely. Longing, awe, a silent hunger they don't even understand. Their eyes stay on you, not because you threaten them, but because you awaken something sacred in them, a remembrance, a spark, a soul-level recognition. Their spirit sees yours and whispers, I know you. These are the rare ones, the ones who don't flinch, the ones who don't turn away. Instead, they watch you as if trying to figure out where they've seen you before. And the truth is, they have. Not in this lifetime maybe, but in the space before this one. In the realms between realms. In the spirit. Because your soul, chosen one, is not new to this. You've been here before. You've walked in light before. And some souls remember you, even if the mind cannot. There's something in the way they look at you. A softness, a curiosity, sometimes even tears. It's like you remind them of something they lost, a version of themselves they've buried, a dream they gave up on, a truth they forgot they believed. And in that moment, when their eyes meet yours, they feel possibility again. Hope. They feel like they could be more, because you remind them that more exists. These stares are not uncomfortable. They're not invasive. They're sacred. They're silent conversations between souls that haven't spoken in years, and sometimes they don't even need to speak. The gaze says it all. You carry something I need. You've walked where I want to go. You are what I used to be, or what I'm becoming. Don't ignore these moments. Don't rush them. You are being used as a spiritual signpost, a confirmation, a light in someone's tunnel. And while they may not fully understand why they're drawn to you, their spirit does. And it's drawing them for a reason. Sometimes it's for healing, sometimes for awakening, sometimes simply to remember that something holy still walks this earth. You are more than a person. They see your purpose, and their soul leans in. So, the next time someone stares at you with that quiet intensity, don't shrink. Don't look away. Meet them. Let your spirit speak. Maybe smile. Maybe nod. Maybe say nothing at all. But know this. It was never random. That was alignment. That was recognition. And for a moment, two souls remembered each other and why they came here in the first place. What it means for you. You were never meant to blend in, chosen one. Now that you've seen the way the world reacts to your presence, how some stare and quickly look away, how others watch with longing, and how many simply don't know what to do with your energy, it's time to understand what all of this truly means for you. And here is the truth. Whether it's easy to hear or not, you were never meant to blend in. Never. You weren't placed on this earth to fit into the crowd, to be invisible, to be silent. You were born to stand out, to carry a frequency that doesn't match the world's noise, to live from a realm most people are not even aware of. From childhood, you've probably felt this tension, like you didn't belong, like your thoughts were too deep, your presence too intense, your questions too difficult for others to answer. You noticed things others didn't, felt things they ignored. You couldn't pretend like they could. And maybe you tried to blend in for a while. Maybe you tried to shrink yourself to be accepted. Maybe you forced yourself to tone it down. But it never worked, did it? Because your soul was never wired for hiding. Your spirit was always designed to be seen. You are a spiritual disruptor, an atmosphere shifter, a messenger in human form, and people can feel it. That's why they act different around you. That's why they respond in extremes, either drawn to you or disturbed by you. You activate something in them. You make them feel more, think deeper, question harder. And for most people, that is uncomfortable. But that discomfort isn't your burden, it's their invitation. An invitation to rise, to heal, to remember who they are. Your aura was encoded with divine presence, not to entertain, not to impress, but to reveal truth, reveal love, reveal freedom. And that revelation comes at a cost. You will be misunderstood. You will be talked about. You will be isolated at times. But understand this, spiritual isolation is preparation, not punishment. Heaven hides what it wants to preserve, and your difference is divine protection. This world rewards conformity. It celebrates those who follow the script. But the chosen ones? We were never given the script. We were given the light. And light doesn't ask permission to shine. It just does. And it exposes what it touches. You were born to be that kind of light. The kind that walks into darkness and changes the temperature of the room without even trying. That's who you are. So what does it mean for you truly? It means stop chasing normal. Stop wishing to be understood by those who are not spiritually awake. Stop asking why you can't just be like everyone else. You weren't sent to be like them. You were sent to lead them. And sometimes leadership looks like loneliness. Sometimes it means standing when everyone else is sitting, speaking when everyone else is silent, being still when everyone else is rushing. But all of it is part of your training, part of your becoming. You weren't chosen for comfort, you were chosen for impact, and impact requires visibility. It requires presence. It requires divine boldness. So from this moment forward, I want you to walk with clarity. Let the stares come. Let the silence follow. Let the questions remain unanswered. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to express the divine. And that expression won't always make sense to human minds, but it will always reach the spirit. Chosen. 1. The path is not always easy, but it is sacred. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to shine in places no one else can reach. And as you do, you give others permission to rise, to see, to remember. This is your calling. This is your mantle. And now, more than ever, it's time to wear it without shame. Your aura is your message. Walk with awareness. Now, chosen one, it's time you understand this clearly. Your aura is not just energy, it's your message. Before you speak, before you move, before anyone hears your name, your aura has already spoken. It carries your frequency, your truth, your assignment. You don't need to explain who you are when your presence already declares it. That's the level of divine presence you carry. That's the power of your spiritual aura. The world may read books, listen to speeches, chase wisdom. But when you walk in, your energy speaks volumes without a single word. That's not a coincidence. That's spiritual design. You were marked by heaven to be a living revelation. People may not understand what they feel when they're near you, but they feel something. Something that stays with them. Something that shakes loose illusions and awakens forgotten parts of the soul. This is why awareness is now your responsibility. You must walk with the knowledge that you are never unnoticed in the spirit realm. Even when you're silent, you're radiating. Even when you're still, you're shifting atmospheres. Your aura carries light. It carries codes. It carries truth. And when people come into contact with it, they are receiving something, whether they realize it or not. This is why it matters how you walk, where you go, and what you allow around you. Because your energy is precious. You are not like everyone else. You cannot afford to be careless with your light. You cannot mingle with what drains you. You cannot stay in environments that dull your frequency. Your aura is a divine instrument. Protect it. Guard it. Honor it. Because it was given to you for a purpose greater than comfort. It was given to shift lives. When you walk into a room, understand that your energy is already doing the work. When you speak, let your words match the truth your aura already carries. When you're silent, let your stillness carry presence. When you're stared at, when you're avoided, when you're honored or attacked, it all confirms one thing. Your light is active. Your mission is live. So, walk with awareness. Don't move like you're average. Don't carry yourself like you're unsure. You were sent here with a frequency, and the world is responding to it. Even when it doesn't know how, your aura is your message, and it's being heard, loud, clear, and divinely timed. Chosen one, you don't need to be louder. You need to be more conscious, more intentional, more aligned. Because now you know your light is speaking before you do, so walk in that truth, own your presence, and let your aura preach the message heaven wrote on your spirit. A final warning. How to discern the wrong kind of attention. Chosen. 1. Not all eyes that watch you are filled with admiration, and not every soul that is drawn to your light comes with good intentions. Your aura attracts, but it also exposes, and with that attraction comes attention. Some of it will be divine, but some of it will be deceptive. You must learn to discern the difference. This is not fear. This is wisdom. There are those who are magnetized to your spiritual aura simply because it radiates power, peace, and clarity. But if someone has not done their inner work, your energy can become something they want to feed off of, not grow with. These people don't come to align with you. They come to attach to you, to siphon your peace, to absorb your light, to imitate your essence without honoring the cost it took to carry it. You've probably felt it already. People who seem overly interested in you too quickly. They shower you with attention, but something in their energy feels off, draining, heavy, inconsistent. They may compliment your presence, but beneath the surface, they're studying you, trying to figure out how to get close, not to walk with you in spirit, but to take what they can spiritually and emotionally. These are spiritual parasites, not soul allies. Discernment is key now. If being around someone leaves you feeling confused, tired, or spiritually dim, that's not alignment. That's a red flag. Pay attention not just to words, but to vibration. Look past flattery. Feel beneath the charm. Because true recognition from the spirit will feel peaceful, not anxious. It will strengthen you, not weaken you. Chosen one, you're no longer in a season where you can afford to entertain everything that comes your way. You must protect your frequency. Not every connection is divine, not every bond is safe, and not every gaze is pure. Some people stare because they see light, others stare because they want control. So this is your final warning. Guard your energy. Trust your discernment. If something feels off, it is. You don't need proof. Your spirit knows. Let your peace be your compass. And when your spirit says step away, don't question it. Obedience is protection. Your aura is precious. Don't let the wrong eyes dim the very light they pretend to admire. Remember who you are, why you were given this presence. Chosen one, take a deep breath. Let this moment settle into your spirit. Because everything you've felt, everything you've experienced, every stare, every shift in the room when you enter, it's not random. It's a reminder, a divine reminder of who you truly are. You were given this presence for a reason. This energy, this light, this frequency. It wasn't an accident. It was assigned. From the very beginning, you were set apart, not for status, not for fame, but for purpose. You carry a spiritual weight that others feel, even when they don't understand it. That's not a burden. It's a calling. And now more than ever, you must remember that you are here on assignment. You didn't come into this life just to survive it. You came to shift it, to break chains, to awaken generations, to carry a light that disrupts darkness wherever it's hiding. That's why your presence is so powerful. That's why people can't explain their reactions to you. Because your energy carries the memory of heaven. It carries ancient truth. You were marked before time, and everything about you, your aura, your eyes, your silence, your voice, it all holds divine purpose. You don't have to work to be noticed. You don't have to beg to be understood. Your existence is the message. The world may never give you full credit for what you carry, and that's okay. You weren't sent here to be celebrated by the masses. You were sent to be a reminder, a disruption, a mirror, a guide. When you remember who you are, you stop shrinking, you stop apologizing, you stop trying to prove something because you realize you were chosen for this very thing. So lift your head, stand tall, let the eyes come, let the silence follow, let the room shift when you enter. Because you are not ordinary. You never have been. Your presence is proof that the divine still walks the earth in human form. This is your time to walk in that truth. Remember who you are, and walk like the world has been waiting for you, because it has. Final prophetic word. You were seen because you're being revealed. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. The stares, the awkward silences, the strange reactions, the glances that linger longer than they should. None of it was meaningless. None of it was just coincidence. You are being seen because you're being revealed, spiritually, prophetically, purposefully. Heaven is unveiling what it once hid, and you are the revelation. You've spent seasons hidden in plain sight, misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated. But that hiding was sacred. It was divine strategy. Because what is sacred must be protected until it's ready to be released. And now the veil is lifting. The stairs are the signs. The atmosphere is shifting because you are no longer invisible in the spirit. Your name, your aura, your presence, it's being announced without words. People don't know why they notice you, but their spirit does. The divine has marked you for this moment. You didn't go through all those battles for nothing. You didn't survive the storms just to return to silence. Everything you endured was preparation for this revealing. The reason the world is noticing you now is because heaven has released you. You're no longer in hiding. You're being revealed as the answer, the light, the carrier of what others didn't even know they needed. This is why your energy feels intense, why people can't forget you, why even your silence echoes. You carry a vibration that calls to the deep in others, a frequency that reaches where no words can. And when your presence enters a room, it announces that the old energy is leaving. You represent something new, something sacred, something unshakable, so don't mistake the strange looks for rejection. Don't let avoidance confuse you. They're not looking away because they don't see you. They're looking away because they do. You were seen, and that seeing is confirmation. You are being revealed. This is your prophetic hour. Everything you've been sensing is real. Your time of obscurity is ending. The mantle is being made public, and you must now carry it with courage, clarity, and confidence. The world is watching because heaven has spoken, and what heaven reveals, no man can ignore. So walk boldly, chosen one. Let them look. Let them wonder. Let them stare. Because your revealing is not for entertainment, it's for alignment. And those who are meant to rise with you will recognize you in the spirit. You were seen. Because now, you're being sent.